Hello, welcome to another episode in the exciting life of my move to Cambodia. I've been here nearly 4 weeks. I think I arrived on the 6th of November and we're coming up to the 6th of December. Happy Christmas, you lot. This is going to be quite a long one, so I may split it up. We'll see how we go. Right, so I'm just trying to summarise my journey, my first month. I aim to get settled within a month, which I think I'm just about done. Right, so I'm going to call this video the steps to emigrating to Cambodia. Right, so the first step, you've got to, anybody thinking of emigrating, you've got to decide you want to emigrate. And it was dead simple for me because I'm on my own. I can make my own decision. But let's say you're travelling with other people. Let's call them a family. They don't have to be family members, but let's just call them a family. Okay? So, it only needs one who doesn't want to go with your plans, if you've made any plans in your head. And that one dissenter will throw you off. And you can argue and argue and argue and discuss it. And in the end, you're probably going to say, oh, F it. I can't be arsed bothering making compromises all the bloody way because one person doesn't want to do this. So, the less there are, the easier it is. I'm on my own, dead easy. Right, so you've got to want to go. I found it quite easy. I did a lot of YouTubing looking at the UK and where it was going and how it was restricting freedom and how I couldn't get a driving licence after COVID, all sorts of things. And I thought, I'm sick of this. And then Starmer Smith got in and started buggering things up and stupid EV laws and stupid things. And I thought, this is just ridiculous. Within 12 months, you won't be able to move anywhere. You just won't be, you'll be restricted to about 15 miles from where you live, if you can afford to live there. So that was me. I decided. So the next thing to do is decide where you're going to live, where you're going to emigrate to. Right, there are quite a lot of things to consider here, right? So the things to bear in mind are, and not in any particular order these, but I will go through them in step by step during the video, of later videos. First one is affordability. Can I afford to live there? On my income, on my pension, and do I need to work? If I need to work, I can't go on a retirement visa. I've got to go on a work visa. Things to consider. Okay? Right. The next consideration I think you should think about is the safety of where you're going, or thinking you're going, and the stability of where you're going. I mean, a lot of people go to Thailand. It's had more coups than hot dinners, so people still go there. So it's up to you, but research it. Right? The next one is the friendliness towards expats. Expats coming to England or the UK aren't really looked nicely on, are they? We don't like them. We're a very, very island nation. It's very xenophobic, really. And we just don't like them. Where I am now in Cambodia, they don't mind. They just love us. They're not judgmental at all. Okay, so the next one. Right, I'm going to call this logistics and infrastructure and westernisation. It's up to you. Watch YouTube, watch channels, but remember that a lot of YouTube channels only show the good bits, not the bad bits. And there will be bad bits. No, they're not as bad as you think, but there are bad bits. And there are quite a lot of expats, I believe, I've not seen any, who have come over and gone back to UK. Why, I don't know, but that's their decision. I can't stand for them. Okay, so if you worry about westernisation and infrastructure, then watch some videos. If you can cope with it, you can cope with it. I was lucky, I lived on a boat. That's about as uncultured as you can get. I have to empty the toilets, I have to get water, to get coal, to get electricity. Flipping heck, I had to get everything. Phew. And then the boat didn't make money on it, did it? The boat loses value anyway. Oh dear. Okay, right. Next one to consider is healthcare. Getting health insurance depends a lot on your age. So be careful about your age. I don't think I think I can get health insurance. I'm early 70s, mid 70s, shall we say. And I think I can get health insurance, but it's going to cost me a lot of money. So the thing I decided to do is to set up a separate part of the bank account as a saver account and put money in there for my healthcare, so much a month. Well, I've got good health, I might as well do that, and I can afford it. And I'm going on a UK state pension, don't forget. Okay, right? The next one is the ability to stay long term. If you think good staying long term, emigrating, then you want to be able to stay long term. If you go to Thailand or somewhere, or some countries, you have to do visa runs, border runs, and come back in, because you're only allowed to stay there for X years or X months, whatever. I moved to Cambodia because I know that I can renew my visa every year. Well, I can up to now, it may change. No, I don't know. And that's it. If you're really computer-minded and like to do things scientifically, create a spreadsheet, put down all these points, or whatever points you can think of. You can do what you want, right? And see how you go, and mark them out of 10 on countries. A lot of people, I think, will move to Southeast Asia. It seems the most affordable, coming out to the third world situation, a lot of it, but places like Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, fine. A lot of people say, don't bother with Laos, it's a bit lousy. No, so there's no pun intended. I intend to go to Vietnam just because it's a beautiful country. I'm not sure about the infrastructure, etc. But it's a short flight from Siem Reap, where I am in Cambodia, so well, we'll do that anyway. I'm not really bothered about Thailand. It's got a reputation, and it's going to the dogs as well, according to people I've talked to. So that's what you do. So once you've committed, you've got to stick with it. You've got to really stick with it. The way I did it was, I booked a flight. It was all right. It wasn't really expensive in some terms, but it was expensive to me. It was 500 odd quid. But I booked the flight, and I booked the flight 6 months in advance. March I booked, and I flew in November, early November. So it's not bad, is it? And I went against all the advice and said, book within about 100 days to go for your flight. I was miles for longer than that. I've told this story before in an earlier video, but I'll tell you again. I looked on the website, on the Singapore Airline. I flew Singapore Airlines to Singapore and then from Singapore to Siem Reap. But I looked on the airline's website a fortnight before I flew and looked at the same flights, exactly the same flight numbers, and it was 1,400 quid. In March I paid 530. So, I don't know. Anyway, so that's the end of this bit of the video, right? So you've got to commit to going, and if you are committed to going, then book your flights. It gives you something that I'm going to lose if I don't take. You can book it as you say, if I cancel it, can I have my money back? You can book it that way if you want, if you're a bit chicken, but do it, because nothing will push you other than that, because you don't know how your mind will change. Mine didn't change, luckily. It could have done. People used to say to me, you'll be back, you'll come back, don't you worry, you'll come back, you won't do it. You'll end up staying here, you just wasted your money. Well, I didn't, did I? I made it. I did it because it actually gave me that impetus to do it, if you see what I mean. Had it been just me on my own, I hadn't told anybody about it, I might not have done it. It's like, if you say, it's like quitting smoking, isn't it? The more people you tell you're going to quit smoking, the more you've got to do it. If you don't tell anybody, you don't have to do it, do you? Nah. Anyway, so bye-bye for now, and I'll try and fill in on some of those other bits in the